There's plenty going on at the Clipsal 500, and some of the best custom cars that you'll find are on display. Check that out, that's very cool. At the Armour All car display, including the Wildcat. That was that purple car you saw. Some impressive pieces of machine there, some fantastic chrome, some great custom built cars, and that is the Wildcat car. It is an amazing machine. Of course, we're here at the Clipsal 500. We'll be in Tasmania soon at Symmons Plains for the Tasmania 360. Hospitality still available. There's the numbers and the details for the website on your screen, and make sure you get the best seat in the house for the debut of our 60-60 race format down there at Symmons Plains, Tasmania. Right now, though, we swap to the Porsche Carrera Cup. James Moffat from the Norton Nissan squad is alongside me, and Craig Baird is eyeing some history here. If he can win this one, it's his 50th Carrera Cup race win.
Yeah, what an achievement that would be for Bairdo. He certainly is the master in the Porsches, but how has the Porsche field, I guess, increasing a bit of stature this year? We've got Steve Johnson on the grid, Carl Reindler, Michael Patrizzi, Warren Luff, so the field is very strong this year. And
Patrizzi starts 13th. He crashed in qualifying and worked his way up part of the order in race 1. This is race 2. We'll get it started on the streets of Adelaide over 12 laps when we come back. Lining up, ready to go. Race 2, round 1 of the Porsche Carrera Cup on the streets of Adelaide. Craig Baird will start from pole. Nick Percat, familiar colours, familiar number, different car though, James Moffat.
And I'm really expecting big things from Nick this year. These types of cars will probably suit his driving style. He's a very aggressive driver, and you get rewarded in these cars. So he got pole position in his very first race for Carrera Cup, second in the first race. So let's see what he can do now.
Dusan Padiachi here had a drama yesterday, got out of control down at turn 9 and ploughed into Mark Sini, and he will start down the back of the grid for this one.
A lot of damage to that car too.
Yeah,
ended up ripping the left front off that Porsche, so just about set for a start here. Craig Baird always very strong off the line in these cars.
And we made some history yesterday. The first ever female driver, Renee Gracie, the 18-year-old from Queensland in the Fujitsu Porsche. She's down the back. She's learning her way around. She's done minimal laps, but she's just looking to keep that car straight. Baird and Percat on the front row. Stephen Richards in the Laser Porsche and Warren Luff on row 2. Shay Davies in the Team Kiwi car. Carlton Reindler's behind and Stephen Johnson's on row 8 of the grid. Race 2, 12 laps, even cars. Who gets the jump? Baird got it yesterday. He's done it again to Percat.
Fantastic textbook start by Craig Baird. He'll lead the field into turn 1. Percat just a bit of a bad reaction there. On board a bit further back in the field. Always tight through turn 1 and 2 at Clipsal.
On board with Tony Bates, one of the elite class drivers. And look at Richards trying to round up Nick Percat on the outside at turn 4. But Percat, he knows he can see Baird already starting to sneak away. That's what happened yesterday. He was aided by a mid-race safety car that brought him up to the back of the reigning champion. But this is where Baird gets his winning margin.
Well, he is a master on cold tyres in these cars, Craig Baird. He's already got probably a 1.5 gap on Percat. And Richards now up the inside, out of turn 7. So he's going to have position on Percat into turn 8. So Percat struggling on this opening lap.
Has to lift, has to yield, and that will leave him open to attack from Warren Luff in that white number 7 car from Andy McElroy's team. Look at this, it's side by side. Max Twigg is in there. Stephen Johnson, I should say, and Carl Reindler, the two Porsche debutants.
Damage, Nunes. Both damage.
Johnson left front puncture and damage. Reindler limping as well, but not quite as bad as the Hunter 17 car.
So that's disappointing for Junior Johnson. He was just the wrong place, the wrong time there. He's going to be able to get it back into the pits, and the team should be able to put look like a left rear tyre that's gone down, so they should be able to get that back out there, but that's his race done.
Of course, Steve not racing in the V8 supercars, but it's great to see him behind the wheel of something this weekend, but that left rear Michelin is punctured. Baird's margin on the cold tyre, 1.7 seconds at the end of lap 1. Richards, Percat, Luff, Shay Davies, Matt Kingsley next. Great fight with the elite class drivers. This is Michael Patrizzi trying to get past Tony Bates, so teammates from Andy McElroy's team, but competing in professional and elite classes, but out the window now. It's all up for the outright spot of P10.
And Patrizzi had a lot of dramas in qualifying, started the first race from the back of the field, had a big spin through turn 8, bit of damage to the car, but it could have been a lot worse outcome for him. So he's trying to charge his way through the field, and like you mentioned, battling here with his teammate Tony Bates.
It's a return to for Patrizzi. He drove for Techno in the V8 Supercars last year. He drove Carrera Cup the year previous, finished 7th in the championship. putting the pressure here on Tony Bates, who's doing a really good job. But in terms of the elite class runners, Max Twigg heads the way. That's Matt Kingsley, who was running 6th, and he rejoins down the tail of the field.
So he's had a drama at the hairpin. Bit of a break lock up for Shay Davies in the Team Kiwi Porsche. He's doing a great job, I think. You know, this is his second race in a Porsche, if I'm not mistaken, 3rd. But coming from Formula Ford last year, and he's just on the back of very experienced Warren Luff. So he's doing a good job so far, keeping it out of trouble. And
he's not a Kiwi, remember. You don't have to be a Kiwi to drive a Team Kiwi. He's from the Gold Coast. Here's James Konduras in the 47 car, 2nd in elite class. Patrizzi working down the inside of Tony Bates, who doesn't make it easy. This is 4th position. Talk
about getting carved up by your teammates. So, but, you know, Tony's entitled to race hard, and it's up to Michael to get a clean pass done. Replay of the start. Have a look at the launch that Craig Baird got. Bad start for Stevie Johnson, and that's probably what got him a bit mixed up in all that mess at the hairpin. And have a look at Craig Baird.
Confidence on cold tyres.
First lap through turn 8, and just about as close as you want to get, Nunes.
No one else is as close as Craig Baird to that wall on the opening lap. Here was what happened with, there's a little bit of a rub there from Max Twigg to the back of Carl Reindler. Johnson in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Contact, left rear puncture, and the 17 car heads to the lane.
Yeah, very easy for an incident like that to happen. Their hairpin, very tight corner, obviously, and yeah, unfortunate for Stevie J. He'll be disappointed with that, but I expect him to be able to charge through the field in the 3rd and final race.
New fastest lap, Stephen Richards, 1:23.08 that time around, 0.02 of a second away from the lap record set by Craig Baird last year. He's chipped the margin down to 1.2 seconds. I'd like to see a stronger Richo this year, because he struggled last year. He just didn't have the pace. He came on a little bit later in the year, but we really love to see him up there running for race wins, as he did in his first year in Carrera Cup. He's taking out a bit of margin from Craig Baird. We're looking here at Carl Reindler. Very last-minute deal for Carl to be in this field. He's been overseas doing driver training and the like for Mercedes. So last we saw him in V8 Supercars with the Kelly team last year alongside Greg Murphy. But we've got so many rookies to Carrera Cup, but they're not racing rookies. Percat and Warren Luff and Reindler and CBJ, they've done plenty of racing between them all.
Yeah, they're hardly rookies. And speaking of last-minute late deals, Nick Percat was another one of those as well. His deal only came together within a week of this event, so it's great to see him with the backing of Coates Hire in Carrera Cup, and he's proven that he's more than capable in these cars already.
Max Twigg with a new look car this year. It's the silver and black number 8 car that the reigning elite class champ is behind the wheel of, and he's got a few of the pros behind him in Carl Reindler. Michael Patrizzi's working his way up on the tail end of this queue. And back aboard with Tony Bates, who sits position 10 overall, 3rd of the elite class runners. Craig Baird, though, has stretched the margin on Stephen Richards. 1.7 seconds. We're on lap 5, race 2, the Porsche Carrera Cup in Adelaide. Back with the Porsche Carrera Cup, and race leader Craig Baird knows how to get it done on the streets of Adelaide. 3 times a round winner in the Porsche category. He leads the way at the moment, but this is not the right way to go for Tony Walls on debut. He's down the tail of the field. He will resume, but he is in position 20. Craig Baird continues to lead, but Stephen Richards has clawed in the margin. Here it is. The laser plumbing and electrical Porsche is closing in. He's ripped all that margin away. Yeah, and Baird had a very slow lap that last lap, so I'm not sure if he's got a problem with his car or he made a mistake, but have a look at Richo. He's all over the back of the reigning champion. It's been a little while since Steve Richards had a race win in Carrera Cup, but he can smell one here. He's right on the back of Craig Baird. Nick Percat is the fastest man on the road. He's broken Baird's lap record by 0.2 of a second. He's got those lights on in that Coates Hire car. He's not too far away either. Maximum commitment from these guys through turn 8. Richo having a look up the inside. He's going to get this done. Baird tried to squeeze him. Can he get the crisscross on him? 2 professionals going hard at it. Baird trying to go around the outside. Bit of contact there. Oh, Richards bounces wide and Percat will pounce. And he knows that he gets across to cover the line and lets Baird off the hook. It brings Warren Luff into the game as well. this race has come alive. I don't think Craig Baird's going to get it all his own way this year.
So Percat, he's brought into this action now as well, but Craig Baird got caught napping a little bit there into the hairpin. Great move by Richo, but he was just a little bit too deep into there. Couldn't hold it, but this fight definitely isn't over. Percat harassing the back of Richards now. Can he have a look into turn 4? He's about as close as he wants to get. Remember, the radiators are in the front of these cars, so any front contact means having a look at the replay here.
Richards gets through, Baird on the switchback, but he knows he's on the wrong side. He needs to hustle and get across and cover off. Look for this, little bit of a rub, and look at Richo's car, bounce and prop, loses all momentum.
I've got to say, Richo was pretty polite there. He definitely had ground on Beardo to sort of stick it in there, but, you know, two great professional drivers racing close and hard, and that's what we want to see in Carrera Cup this year, and I'm sure we will.
Looking back, Shea Davies hanging on there, the Team Kiwi car. He's done a really good job this weekend, stepping from Formula 4, did a couple of rounds of the Porsche Series last year. This fight for the last spot in the top 10 is raging between Tony Bates, Damien Flack, having a look at Matt Kingsley on the charge back through the pack in the Action Tyres car, number 50. That's the ex-Ray Angus car, the former GT3 Cup champ. And look at this, Shane Smolin trying to sneak on through as well. Oh, Kingsley with a problem. Pulls over. Now
he's going again.
It's going now, so whatever he's got going on in this race, it's been a drama. So the Queenslander slips on back through the pack, but Baird has just got himself enough breathing margin now. He seems to have withstood that challenge, and Warren Luff now comes into play. We'll see Warren back in action for Red Bull Racing Australia in the V8 Supercar Enduros later on in the season. Yet to hear and see what's happening with Nick Percat there. From what we understand, he is contracted to Walkinshaw Racing this year. Whether he finds himself on the endurance ride or somewhere else, we'll wait and see. But what we know is he's in a Carrera Cup Porsche, and he's fast. He will definitely be a factor this year.
Well, he's got the race lap record now, and also broke the qualifying lap record in qualifying when he grabbed pole position. So there's never been a doubt about Nick's speed. Certainly the last couple of years in the development series he's been strong, but for him to come into the Carrera Cup this season and very limited running in the car from what I can understand, maybe one test day, and for him to get on pole in his first ever event, especially around Clipsal, is a testament to him.
Bates and Flack still going at it through turn 8, and I was asked a question on social media during the week about the speeds of the Carrera Cup cars and the V8 Supercars in the past. Carrera Cup's been a little bit faster through turn 8, but with the new car of the future spec cars, and I know particularly with the Norton Nissan that you were saying, the newer cars in terms of V8s are faster now than the Porsches through turn 8.
The brand new Nissan Altima is amazing through turn 8, so we've got a few other areas on the track that we need to sort out, but through turn 8 it's very impressive and a lot more settled than the older cars, the older V8 supercars. But these cars around Clipsal are fantastic to drive. They're obviously very stiffly sprung, and who is that running wide coming onto the straight? Damien Flack, so he's pushing on very hard, but this is a graphic image of how stiff the cars are on the curbs through Clipsal.
Here's Baird, Richards, Percat, Warren Luff. All drivers who've won in V8 supercars. Of course, Luff, the most recent, the Sandown 500 last year. Craig Baird, a winner at Phillip Island back in 2000 with Stone Brothers Racing. Penultimate lap of this one. And Richards not done with yet. He's still got a bit of pace. So he hasn't had a race win since Barbagallo 2011. That was very early in that year, in just his second appearance or third appearance in Carrera Cup. So it's nice to see Richo running back at the front and becoming a factor in this championship. Of course, we'll cover race 3 tomorrow. It's the first round of 7 for the All Porsche Series this year, and they've got something new this year. It's called Rennsport, which they run overseas. It's an All Porsche festival, which they're going to have at Sydney Motorsport Park at the end of May with a Pro-Am race, which is something different. So there'll be 2 one-hour races where the pros have to get an elite driver. The elite drivers can have whoever they want. Bit of chat that there might be a few factory Porsche drivers coming out for that one.
That's a fantastic concept. And
Tony Bates!
Here. Bates, he's off. Is he going to get the wall?
Yep.
He is. Oh, big contact. A lot of damage to the back and left-hand side of that Porsche.
And that's at the second last turn, James, on the racecourse section coming in, just near the pit lane entry, and he and Damien Flack were having a pretty big dice for the last few laps for 10th.
And that's not somewhere that you would normally have a drama on your own, so we haven't seen a replay yet, but unless something's broken,
Here we go.
A bit of contact from the back of Flack. Yeah, that's just not on. Shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff, and have a look at that, hard into the concrete wall. So a lot of damage and a lot of work for the McElroy Racing team.
This is where it was set up. He was slow off that turn.
Yeah, just no room there for Flack, and no need for him to be trying to stick it up the inside there, and hard into the wall. So a lot of work overnight for the McElroy Racing crew. Disappointing for Tony Bates.
They're running 5 cars in Carrera Cup this year. They've got a quarter of the field, in fact, with Andy McElroy's squad. Last lap, though, Craig Baird. He's withstood the advances of Stephen Richards. He'll get it done. He will be the first to 50 race wins in Porsche Carrera Cup Australia history.
Yeah, able to raise the bat to the pavilion.
At this rate, he'll end up with a century before we know it. Stephen Richards second.
He is definitely the master in the Porsches. Without doubt, the category benchmark, and you know, if you can match or beat Craig Baird, you're doing a fantastic job in these cars.
This is the fight for elite, James. Max Twigg, though, will hang on from James Kountouris, or will he? No, he won't. Oh, this is tight. Get to the timing screen.
He just
gets there. Got there by a 10th of a second and finished 8th overall. So it's Baird from Richards, Percat and Warren Luff, Shay Davies in 5th from Carl Reindler, Michael Patrizzi, Twigg, Kountouris and Flack rounded out the 10. The Porsches are back tomorrow. Casey Stoner, his second V8 Supercar race, is coming up. The Dunlop Series from Adelaide.